The strong should not boast of their strength. So the word strong there, or mighty, also means champion or chief. He's talking about people who have power, who have authority, who have the ability to force their will upon others. Employers, bosses, kings, overseers, committee chairmen, board of directors, presidents, senators, pastors, elders, you name it. Now, just like there's nothing wrong with having a skill, there's also nothing wrong with having a position of power and authority. The real problem is when we begin to hunger for power, when we begin to hunger for authority, when we begin to take pride in the authority that we have. We would all do well to remember a little conversation that Jesus had with his disciples. One day, you can find this in Matthew 20, verses 25 to 28. One day, James and John come to Jesus and they say, "Hey, Jesus, when your kingdom comes, can we have the positions of greatest authority? Can we be powerful?" And Jesus says, "All right, gather around, let me sit you all down, all 12 of you, and explain this to you once clearly so you get it." He said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. And whoever wants to be first must be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Now, to be clear, Jesus is not saying, hey, if you want to have a position of power, first serve everyone and then you'll get the power you want. Okay? That's not what he's saying. He's saying if you want to have true authority, that authority is found in being a servant. In Philippians chapter 2, we read that Jesus took on the form of a servant, but that doesn't mean he said, "Oh, I think I'll just serve a few people so that I can have authority." It means nature. Jesus became in nature a servant. It's not a means to an end. It's who we become in nature. So it's not wrong to be an overseer, a leader, a person with authority, but we don't take pride in those positions. We don't seek power, nor do we use a position of authority for our own benefit, but entirely for the benefit of others. And if you want to understand how out of step the world is with how Jesus thinks about authority, picture for yourself a corporate board meeting where all the board members are sitting around a table trying to figure out the best way to give away everything they have in order to give wealth to their customers. Doesn't that seem like a weird thing for a corporate board to do? Of course it's weird because it's the world's way. And Jesus said, you're not supposed to do things the world's way. If you have a position of authority, you use it for the benefit of everyone else. That's my way. Having a position of authority is fine, but God says to Jeremiah, don't be fooled into thinking I'm impressed by it. And if God isn't impressed by it, then probably I shouldn't be either, and you shouldn't be either.